Biden was going to lose by even more. Okay, when he was in there, he was going to get his ass kicked even worse. There wouldn't have never been a Kamala if Biden wasn't going to lose.
I think the Democratic Party is weak. I've been saying it ever since when they lost to Trump the first time. The Democratic Party need to be more arrogant. I'm saying, look, we got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yep. It's going to be live on Hulu.
No,
I'm sorry, Netflix.
Yeah.
Friday night, right?
Yeah.
You going to tune in?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to watch. Go.
All right, yeah. So we're back again. This is the Black Summit. I'm Hendrix.
And I'm Brooks.
And I know it's been a minute, but we are back here to do this thing for you guys one more again. And we got some interesting things to talk about. The election. Kamala lost.
Your girl Kamala. What happened?
She lost.
She went down for the count.
Yeah, man. I mean,
dang.
When they showed the map, that map looked like blood, Bloods and Crips. Like Bloods took over. I was like, I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, it was like all red,
Yeah, it was.
But then the biggest thing, when she lost that swing state, that was a wrap.
Oh yeah.
That was
she lost all the swing states.
Yeah,
it was a real beating. She really got her ass whooped pretty much. I mean, and I hate to be the I told you so guy in the room, but I've been saying this for a while. Before Kamala even got in there, it was like, yo, gas is too high, food is too much. Y'all have to switch it up. Y'all have to change it up. And they never really did. They never really turned the table.
So you think Kamala never even stood a chance?
I don't think she stood a chance. A lot of people are blaming Biden and all this other stuff. Oh, Biden didn't get out, soon enough. It's no, it's the policies y'all put into place. A lot of people, I was listening to one of our old videos and, I was talking about how, if they don't change, they're going to lose. And I think, a lot of people kind of took my constructive criticism of the Democratic Party as support for Trump. And it was never that. It was always like, yo, I'm seeing what's really happening because I'm on the ground, man. I'm not out of touch. I'm actually here, closing my eyes when it's time for me to go pump gas and realizing yo, I go and get chicken breasts from the store. And, when Trump was in there, it was $10. And now it's
how much is chicken breast?
It's like $17, $18 to get the same chicken breast.
Probably because it's organic now.
It's yo, when you're looking at these prices, man, it's crazy.
So do you think
I knew that was going to come down the pipeline?
She should have distanced herself from Biden more.
Yeah. Remember, she went on The View and she had a moment. She had a chance to kind of distance herself from Biden, and she said, "You know what? We ain't gonna be doing nothing different." It was yo, that was a what moment? What did you really just say that? And what was even crazier was that was a comfortable environment for her to be in, around the other ladies and stuff. And she said she had that moment. I mean, that was a turning point right there. I felt but I don't think it's her fault. I don't think it's Biden's fault. A lot of people are saying that America's racist and sexist and all this other stuff. Really, by him winning the popular vote, I don't really think that it shows that America's racist or sexist. I think America just kind of spoke and they said, yo, we can't go with these prices no more.
America spoke loud and clearly who they wanted. It doesn't matter if you are a criminal, you stage your coup. If you're going to put money in their pockets and protect the border, that was the main ticket on the ballot. That's the main thing people was concerned with for the most part.
They threw all the morals out the window.
Yeah, all the morals went out the window, you know what I mean? But I think Kamala had very good policies, whereas with Trump had concepts of a policy, right? But I guess America don't care. They prefer concepts over an actual policy. But I think what hurt the Biden administration, like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, the economy was so-so, but once they start kicking all that money to Ukraine, that's when everybody started feeling it in their wallet,
Yeah. Well, that and COVID, those two things kind of messed it up.
Yeah, the
inflation
and everything like that. But also, I think that's the thing, what really hurt hurt people in their pocket, because that money got to come from some kind of way, right? So our interest rates went up, right? Our interest rates went up, and then some people, but 15, 16 million people didn't even vote.
Yeah.
And I know they say in Texas alone, they have roughly about 5 to 6 million people who never vote, no matter who's in office. Because they say no matter who's in office, they ain't going to do nothing for us anyway.
To me, what's funny is to me the 15 to 16 million, when you look at the popular vote, Biden won in 2020. I think he had like 81 million, right? And then Kamala, she only got around like 64 million this time. And when you look at the Palestinian vote, that was huge because I feel like a lot of the Palestinians didn't vote for her. And then the supporters of the Palestinians, they could have been white, they could have been black, whatever. Like those people didn't. And I spoke to a lot of them. I remember I was in Pittsburgh and I was walking the streets and I was talking to a lot of different people, just asking them who they were voting for. And I saw these 4 people, they were walking. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're definitely Kamala people. Because, we always try to, figure out, okay, all right, we just got 2 Trump people. Let's try to get a Kamala person.
Yeah.
And so, I walked over to them and, pretty good-looking people, young. And I could see that they all had on "We Voted" signs,
right.
stickers, because there was election day. And I went up and I said, hey, who did you guys vote for? And they were like, oh, we voted for not Kamala. I was like, oh, what?
So they voted for Trump.
And they were like, no. They were, I talked to them and they were like, well, we're not going to vote for genocide.
Okay.
And so they basically weren't voting for, they were Democrats, but they didn't vote for Kamala. And it was because of what they felt like was going on inside of the Palestinian-Israel war. And so that vote to me, when you look at, the 64 million that she only got compared to Biden getting 81 million, I think it almost lines up perfectly. 15 million people didn't really vote.
That hurt her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that definitely hurt her. But
that's what happened.
If they didn't vote for her, like I said, Trump still, he's a very advocate of Israel. So regardless if you vote for her, don't vote, or vote for Trump, Israel's still gonna get that bread. They're still getting that money. So either way, then now your campaign gonna be saying how bad the Republican Party is now.
Yeah,
with Trump,
but I think
I
think a lot of people saw that there was peace in the Middle East, and so I think there was a lot of people who voted for Trump because they just want the wars to end. Now, what is that war ending gonna mean? Because especially when you think about the Ukraine war. Is he just going to give over the land to Putin?
That's his boy.
And then the same thing with Israel.
You never know.
It's these wars are going to end possibly under him, but what does that mean for the people?
But then how is he even going to end the war? What is he going to do?
Yeah.
What really between Ukraine and Russia, between Israel and Palestine? What is he going to do? We going to go, you guys need to stop it. Just stop. I mean, what power? I mean, yeah, he's our president, not their president. They have their own leadership. What is he going to do? I mean, granted, America didn't cause the wars, but at the same time, they look at it like the wars are our fault.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Which is kind of unfair to some degree. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but I mean, a lot of people feel like we get into these never-ending wars to kind of feed the industrial,
and that could be
military, industrial, and complex.
But we weren't in these wars. Palestine and Israel. Yeah. Now I will say this.
That's why they call them proxy wars.
To give a little bit of history, America is partially the cause of the Palestine and Israel. So I will say that, you know what I mean? When they put those people there in that West Bank and took those people land. So America did somewhat contribute to the hostility and the turmoil. Exactly.
The conflict.
Now, I don't know what degree with Ukraine and Russia, which apparently Ukraine used to be a Russia territory.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went separate, right? So I don't know to what effect that has to do with America. You know what I'm saying? But I just wish they would stop giving all this money overseas. That's how you build the economy. But at the same time, I will say this too, even with Trump's plan, I don't think it's not going to make the economy any better either with the tariff taxes and stuff like that. That's not going to
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, I heard economists.
Yeah.
I went to school for business, so I had to take macro and microeconomics.
Yeah.
And from what he's saying, that's definitely will hurt the economy.
Yeah.
They even say mass deportation will hurt the economy.
Yeah. Before we get too deep into Trump,
Yeah.
what do you think? Pause, by the way. What do you think of? What do you
And
think
I said,
of?
yeah. Oh, snap.
What do you think of Kamala losing? Do you think that it was because I feel like a lot of the Democrats are hurting today. Like a lot of them are feeling down, and like they don't really know what to do. A lot of people were feeling that way, when she lost. It's been over a week now, but I don't know. Why do you think she lost? A lot of people felt like it's because we're sexist and we're racist.
Yeah, some people
we can never let a woman win. All this other stuff.
Some people feel that way. That because I remember even you said America is a little bit racist and a little bit sexist, and these things are true, even if you want to deny them or not.
I did say that before the popular vote came out.
Before the popular vote came out, okay.
But
did she lose because of that? I mean, I don't know. It could maybe sway a factor because there are actually, I know some women, of course, they're a little bit old school and a few modern, they don't feel a woman should be in leadership because they cannot control their emotions, Is it true? I don't know. Take it up with yourself, you know what I mean? But
well, I'm gonna take a stand on it.
You can take a stand?
I think she never, speaking of taking a stand, I just feel like she never really took a stand. But let's be honest, guys. Biden was going to lose by even more. Okay, when he was in there, he was going to get his ass kicked even worse, and so that's why they had to interject Kamala.
Kamala in there, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
There wouldn't have never been a Kamala if Biden wasn't going to lose, and so they saw the numbers, they saw what was going on, and so they had to put Kamala in there. So are we going to say that if Biden had lost today, that America's sexist and racist against a white man? Come on now. To me, I think it came down to policy. I think it came down to, those problems that they never really addressed, So
yeah. Well, I'm even to go a step further, right? Biden they question his coherency, right? Because he's up in age, right? Of course, right? Trump, he seems somewhat coherent, but he's up in age too.
By the way, they lied to us about Biden. Don't forget that.
Okay. So, and I get it. I'm saying Biden should have just been a one-term president and then step aside. I get, even when they came down here when he was running, and I saw his cognitive skills just he walking to the car. I saw him in person, right? And I was like, man, this dude is old. Bernie Sanders old too, but he's way more energetic, right?
He's there,
and I get it. Trump seems a little bit more coherent too, but Trump is old as well. And from the time you get in office, Trump is like what? How old is he? Like 70 what?
He's like 78.
78, right?
Yeah.
A lot. I'm not saying anything will happen to him, but far as your motor skills when you're that up in age, say he gets in office in January, right? And in 225. By the time 26 comes, January 20, you probably will start to see a slight significant decline. Because you're aging. So he's not a spring chicken either. You know what I'm saying?
But come on. They were lying to us about how good Biden was. I mean, you had people coming online on in the media talking about, he's potent. And
of course.
He's there. He's fine. He's doing better than some of us. It's like, bro, who are you trying to fool?
They're going to say
we saw him walk up and down the stairs. Dude. We saw him,
No, he fell up the stairs. What are you talking
that's
about?
what I mean.
Yeah.
We saw him doing all these things, all these gaffes he was having. He couldn't finish his sentences. And then they tried to tell us that everything was okay. The same way that they tried to tell us, I remember when they were talking about the inflation. First, there was no inflation. They kept saying there's no inflation, but those numbers kept rising. Then they said that, the inflation is because we started a war. It was like, brother, we just started this war. The inflation has been going up already. And then they said that, no, actually the inflation's Trump's fault. And it was just like, at that point, it was like, first you told us there was none. Now you're going to say it's Trump's fault. It's like, they lost all credibility. Same thing with Biden. They lied about Biden. They said that there was nothing wrong with him. We saw in 2020 he was declining. Just tell us the truth.
Yeah,
tell people the truth.
To be fair, they lied about Biden and they lied about Trump.
Yeah.
When Trump says something and it's clearly what he says, and then they will go back and say, why you like Trump? Oh, because he stands on what he says what he means. Then when he says some rhetoric, nobody don't like, oh well, he didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so they lie on
always change it
everybody
up.
they lie on both sides. But but it go to show you that whereas the Democrats, well, I think one reason why they lost, they're doing politics. Trump wasn't doing politics. He's doing it in a different way. America don't care nothing about politics. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they don't care about truth. So I think the Democratic Party is weak. I've been saying it ever since when they lost to Trump the first time. And then, they had to bring Biden in, to try to get it back. But then as we see the results of that. But I think
what's the solution?
The Democrats need to change up their messaging. They need to the Democratic Party need to be more arrogant. I'm saying, look. Remember one time people were saying, man, we don't know what is Biden and Kamala Harris doing. We don't know nothing that they're doing. But then when they do interviews, they would say, yeah, we do this and that. But you didn't. How the people don't know. You're not putting it out there that you're not showing that you're doing this, doing that. But let that be Trump. He gonna let you know. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yeah, it was Congress who passed the money for the stimulus. A president can't do that. Congress has to do that. They had to vote on that, right? But he did the smart marketing thing by putting his name on the checks. Biden wouldn't do nothing like that. You know what I mean? That's why they call the Democratic Party is somewhat sort of weak when it comes to it. The Republican Party going to do anything, whether if it's cutthroat by any means. But the Democratic Party, they want to sit back and play nice. Sometimes you can't play nice with people who don't play fair.
I've heard that argument before. I think the real reason is this: the Democratic Party, they've kind of been cursed since 2016. They did something egregious. They rigged it against Bernie Sanders. And when I really look at the numbers, when I really look at everything that we've done since then, Bernie was the one. Bernie was the truth. Hillary. He should have been the one that was running. He would have won in 2016. All this money that we've already spent on these wars, all this money that we've already spent on COVID, on giving the $3 trillion to the rich, all of that money that they were like, oh my God, if Bernie gets in there, he's going to be radical. He's going to be doing all this crazy spending. He's going to be doing all this crazy stuff. When you look at those numbers off of those three things, we would have spent less with Bernie, okay? And what did the American people get for all that stuff? What did they get from the $8 trillion that we spent? Okay, nothing. Okay, at least we would have got something underneath Bernie. But really, Bernie was the movement. Bernie would have been able to unite everybody. I heard him talking over the weekend about how, the Democratic Party has lost the working class people. Okay? They're no longer the party of the working class. They're the elites. That's why they're bringing out Usher. That's why they're bringing out Beyonce. That's why they're talking about Taylor Swift. That's why they're talking about Billie Eilish and all these other people, and not talking about the actual issues like the economy, like, food and groceries and stuff like that. Everyday people who have to deal with these things. And so to me, the Democratic Party messed up a long time ago when they didn't put Bernie in there. And they're being cursed for it ever since because of what they've done. And they really need to atone for that. They really need, and unfortunately, there's no real way to do it because, Bernie's now too old and up in age himself.
Yeah, Bernie's not running.
And
I think Bernie would have been better than, I agree, he would have been better than Hillary. Only problem I have with Bernie, he didn't have a black agenda. He didn't want to give you reparations. One thing he did have was police reform. See? I will say that. And I don't know if they could mask that to trickle that money to black communities to help build up black communities and jobs for, because wherever there's poverty, there's going to be crime, and that's regardless of race, religion, creed. It doesn't matter. That's just what it is. When people are hurting and hungry, they're going to do whatever they can to get what they need. But that's the only problem I have with Bernie. He had nothing for as reparations or anything like that. That's the only thing. But other than that, Bernie was a pretty solid dude. But yeah, what else we got, man? Let's talk about.
All right. Well, let's talk about Trump's cabinet because he's been
let's go ahead.
appointing a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
Trump. I'm just going to read through some of the cabinet picks
Go
that
ahead.
he's had. A lot of people have, not liked some of his cabinet picks so far, but of course they're going to do that, right? Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. Tulsi Gabbard, she's going to be the Director of National Intelligence. Matt Gaetz, which was a weird one, he is now going to be the Attorney General.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about him because he's been like, to me, to be nominated as the Attorney General is kind of laughable because he's kind of
We'll get into it.
yeah, he's had his own crime.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
we'll get into that.
Susie Wells, Chief of Staff, first woman to be Chief of Staff. Let's see. Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff and Policy. And then Tom Holman, he's the border czar. We'll talk about him too. And then Elise Stefanik. She is the U.S. ambassador to the UN. Mike Huckabee, the ambassador to Israel.
Is that Sarah Huckabee's husband?
No, that's her father. So he actually used to run back in the day, for those who remember some of his politics. He was the former Arkansas governor as well. Lee Zeldin, head of the EPA. Let me see if there's some other ones that stand out.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
And Vivek Ramaswamy.
And Vivek Ramaswamy.
What are they, though?
Let me see, because I don't see them right here. I was just searching for them. They are the co-leaders of the Department of Government Efficiency, whatever that means. They're going to be kind of like
what that is.
What they're going to be doing is kind of cutting down on our spending. So they're going to be looking at places that we've been spending too much money on and try to cut down on that.
So he pretty much enlists 2 billionaires to do that.
Well, I don't think Vivek is a billionaire.
Yeah, I think he is.
No, he's not.
You sure?
Yeah, he's not a billionaire.
I could swear he was.
No, he's not. You can look it up.
How you spell his name?
But also, Kristi Noem is the Homeland Security Secretary. Vivek is spelled Vivek.
Okay.
He's not a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire?
But, he's working with a billionaire, Elon Musk.
Vivek,
So
1 billion. I told you he's a billionaire.
Is he really a billionaire?
Yes, the dude's a billionaire. Off of pharmaceutical. That's how he made his money. Yes.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
He has 2 billionaires.
Dang, how is he a billionaire?
Yeah. At least
I didn't know that.
Vivek was born in the country, even though he's Hindu. Elon Musk is South African.
Oh, okay.
But he just looks white.
Does he look white?
Elon Musk? Yeah.
I think he looks like he's not from, let me not say
that. No. Elon Musk looks white. If he doesn't talk, you would swear he was just another white dude walking down the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a lot of people have been talking about 2 of the people who were nominated. Hegseth, who is a weekend host on Fox and Friends. Okay. A lot of people were mad about that pick. But a lot of people don't know that he's a soldier. He has 2 Bronze Stars.
He may be qualified.
He went to Princeton. I think he got a degree at Harvard.
Secretary of Defense.
So his position? Secretary of Defense. And then, so he's going to be, in charge of the Pentagon, basically.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. So, real quick, Trump nominated Matt Gaetz to serve as the Attorney General. And here we have a clip from him.
Why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
Dang. So, ladies, he said you look like a thumb. So now I have something from ABC News. Says Gaetz is subpoenaed by a woman he allegedly had sex with when she was a minor in defamation suit brought by a friend. And this is from ABC News. And I don't know, man. So what do you think of Trump's pick? He's getting off to a rough start.
I think Matt Gaetz is a terrible pick. I can't believe that he picked him, especially to be the Attorney General when he's been, had his own crime problems.
Right.
Like he had gotten subpoenaed. It's like, to me, it's kind of laughable that he picked that guy. The other guy, like Hegseth, I know a lot of people are like up in arms about him. But like, you know, he has 2 Bronze Stars. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, he went to Princeton and stuff.
So he may be qualified.
But yeah, I mean, Matt Gaetz to
Matt
me is a
Gaetz.
really bad. That's probably the first bad pick
Yeah,
that I was like, oh my goodness,
who
what?
knows? Maybe Trump thinking like, "Hey man, I got convicted. You criminals, we roll together. You know, I'm gonna look
We'll
out for
pardon
you."
each other.
Exactly. He probably thinking like, "Yo, hey, we gonna give ourselves a second chance."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I guess the American people give Trump a second chance. So
Yeah, I
You
guess
know?
it really feeds into the dictatorship thing. You know, the narrative that he's a dictator. You know,
Trump.
yeah.
Yeah.
This really does, you know, do that to me. You know,
What do you think about when people say that Trump is the epitome of white privilege? You don't think that's true?
I don't know. I don't really. I honestly
buy
don't
into
even
it?
know what white privilege really means. You know, like I feel like a lot of people have their own definitions of what
True.
it means, but
I would say if you want to
Do
know,
I think
just look
he's-
at Trump. I mean,
do I think he's white and proud? Yes.
I mean, I don't see any. Is there any? Have you known any other person who's been that privileged? Then I haven't known anybody that. I'm sure he would say it's not white privilege on his end. You know what I mean? But
yeah, you
on the
mean-
of course,
You
because
mean like all the stuff that he's been given
getting
and stuff?
away-
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
he was born into a billionaire
Yeah.
family, and as he said, I got a small
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 loan.
loan of
Small
$1
loan.
million. That's like,
Yeah.
bro, what?
that's small to him.
How's that as a small loan?
But even that aside, which that really pretty much is nepotism. But even that aside, you know, with his presidency, what they said he stole documents, took him back to Mar-a-Lago, attempted to coup the country. You know, and his attorney said that he didn't promise to protect the Constitution. 'Cause that's the main thing. When me being a veteran, you swear in to protect the Constitution. So he said, nah, he never said he wanted to do. You know, he didn't swear in to protect the Constitution, nothing like that. You know, and then with all these convictions and then the hush money stuff and all that, you know, so then a lot of his cronies in his first cabinet were, you know, a lot of them got convicted on certain things. Of course, they did turn on him when ish hit the fan, you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't know, man. To me, I haven't seen anybody on that level of privilege. I mean, Diddy's almost a billionaire. He don't got that kind of privilege. I mean, yeah, he
had
might have
it,
been.
though.
Yeah, he
He
might
had
have been
it, though. They
skating.
took it away from him.
Yeah, but look what he had now, though.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
30 seconds. What do you think is going to happen in the next 40 years?
The next 40 years?
Yeah. I mean, sorry. The next,
Next
4
4
years.
years?
Sorry.
I don't think he's for one. I don't think he's not going to bring the economy together. It's just not. He's not going to bring the economy together, right?
Okay.
And I'm not saying that's on him. People just already have their differences, right? I don't think he's not going to bring the economy together. I don't think he's not going to make the economy better. You know what I mean? I'm curious to see what he can do with these wars. Can he, you know, get them to stop? You know, that's to be seen. But
What
I
about
just
the
don't think so.
all-time highs? You got Bitcoin?
Yeah, they say that's the effect, but because he got in office, but technically he hasn't done anything. He's not even in office. He's the elect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, if it takes that effect, yeah, I'll take the money, but I really need my Shiba to go up. That's what I need to go
I
up.
thought you had all the Bitcoin, man.
No, I have
Okay.
Bitcoin, I got Ethereum and Shiba. So what you think is gonna happen?
What do I think is going to happen in the next 4 years? I think in the next 4 years...
You gonna get rich?
No, I don't think anybody's going to get rich. I think that, you know, he's not going to make as much of a difference as he thinks he's going to make. And I think that, you know, probably the time to make all the difference he wanted to, you really need like 8 years to really do it. And, you know, these little 4-year stints, you can't really make much change, you know? So I don't know how much he's going to be able to do.
And you need
So-
the House and the Senate in
He's
your
got
back
both.
pocket. So
He's got both.
and he has
So-
the Supreme Court.
He's got...
Because, you know,
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas is about to step down, so he's going to appoint
Oh, yeah.
another far-right.
They've got
Justice.
all the power right now.
He got all the
So
power,
They better
so-
be able to deliver. So that's all I got to say.
I don't think he's not going to leave office. He ain't there forever, y'all. Get used to him. He's about to be like Putin. He said he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what y'all wanted, and that's what you got. I'm curious to see what's going to happen when all these Hispanics who vote for Trump when they start getting deported. It's going to
Yeah,
happen.
that one guy.
It's
he
gonna
said
happen.
the new borders are. He was like, yep.
Yep.
Tom Homan. You
Yep.
know, he basically said we're going to deport the families.
You're deporting
You
the families.
We ain't going to separate them no
You're not
more.
going to separate them. You're all going to go together.
Yeah.
Yep. Real quick, well, let's talk about the fight.
Yeah, the fight
Let's end on
that's
on a good
happening.
note. We got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yep.
It's going to be live on Hulu.
No,
I'm sorry,
Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Friday night, right?
Yeah.
You going to tune in?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch. This is the only kind of boxing fight you'll see me watch, because the other
exhibitions?
boxing is kind of like rigged.
He don't like real. He
So-
like exhibition bouts, 2-minute rounds.
No,
he
because
don't like real boxing.
You know why? You know, real boxing ain't real no more. You know,
Oh, my God.
so
You're just not watching the right
when
fights.
you look at the
man.
people, you know, it's just not the same the way that it used to be back in the day when Tyson was in his heyday. You know, and so like I'm of course going to tune into this fight. I don't think that Tyson should be fighting a young guy at his age, and I hope he doesn't get hurt too bad. But yeah, I'm
So
definitely
you
gonna
think
tune
Jake Paul going to take him?
I don't know, because like, would you fight somebody? I mean, even at your age, would you fight somebody who's like 20 something?
Depends. It just depends.
I mean, like, to me,
It
that's
just
a little
depends.
like, yo.
It just depends.
So
I've seen Tyson's workout. I've seen him training, and he's in good shape. Now, I'm not saying he can't get hurt. I'm not saying anything can happen.
Mhm.
But far as skill and technique, and he's been doing this way longer, right? Now, Jake Paul has youth on his side, which is true.
yeah.
But he doesn't have experience on his side. Now, boxing, anything can happen. Anything can happen, you know? So it's safe to say we really don't know, right? But I can see how some people would lean towards Jake Paul. I can see some people would lean towards Tyson. I was cutting one of my buddies here, and he think that Jake Paul would probably, he gave his reasons why. And I said, well, and I give the reasons why with Tyson, you know? I mean, once again, I know you hate him, but look at Mayweather, and when he fought Canelo. Canelo was in his 20s. Mayweather was like, I think, late 30s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe almost 12, 14 years older than him. It's just experience. And he still kept in shape. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to outclass Canelo. You know,
But
so,
how old was Mayweather? Like in his 30s, right?
like 30,
Yeah.
but 38 or something
30s
like
is
that.
totally different from being in your
From
50s.
True.
So,
this
you
is
know,
true. This
I
is
mean,
very, this is
50s, I
very
don't even
true.
know what that's like, you know?
This is very true. He's 54, I think. Tyson might
Yeah,
be.
he's older,
I'm thinking
man.
50.
His
How old
body's,
Jake Paul
his body
is?
has a lot of miles on it.
How old is Jake Paul?
Jake Paul, I think, is only like 26, 27, something like that.
He's a young dude.
So yeah, I mean, like that's gonna be an interesting
It
fight.
is going
But
to be interesting.
I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna watch it.
One thing I will
It's
say
live,
is,
so
I don't think Jake Paul hasn't felt no pain yet, though. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He hasn't been hit by someone like a Tyson.
yeah,
He fought Nate Robinson. Come on, man, that's a basketball player.
he did fight against one fighter and he lost. I can't remember who it was, but
Okay.
yeah, he did get beat by a real boxer.
Yeah, you know,
So,
he's a novelist, man. These are exhibition bouts. Honestly, I don't even look at these. Yeah, they're fighting, but I don't look at these as real fights. This is not on BoxRec. You know, you're not getting accredited for these things, man. These are entertainment. These are money grabs.
Yeah.
The same thing what Floyd does now. These are money grabs. Do 2-3 round bouts, make 3-4 million, you know, in Dubai or wherever he's fighting at. You know, these are just money grabs, man. That's it.
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Well, thanks for tuning in. I know this is a short one, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys, man. We like I said, we're gonna do some more things. We've been going for a little minute.
We're gonna be back on a schedule.
Well, my guy here's been out. Y'all check him out. What's it?
It's called The Voter's Voice.
The Voter's Voice. Even though, you know, it's still some good information, even though we know the outcome of the election, but still some funny moments. He had on a shirt called N-words for Trump.
Nah, I
he
didn't.
walked
Don't
into
tell
a
people
black rally.
Yeah. don't
This guy got guts. I would never do nothing like that. But now, check him out, man. We'll be back again doing some more podcasts, man. We hope you enjoyed this one. Once again, I'm Hendrix.
I'm Brooks.
And this has been the Black Summit, and we are out.
We out. Peace. All right.